Tonight, it's all about summertime injuries, and we have already gotten some great information. We have another caller on the line right now. We have David Holding. What is your question, David?
Yeah, this happened a few weeks ago. I was out walking my dog on a leash, by the way, and kid comes riding his bike up right at my dog. Dog kind of freaks out a little bit and jumped up and bit him. They took the kid to the hospital. No stitches or anything, but he got some antibiotics. I said I felt bad, so I offered to pay the medical bills, but parents never got back to me. So then yesterday, I got a letter from a lawyer saying that they are holding me liable for $6,000, which is like 6 times as much as the medical bill was. I don't know, it kind of seems like a money grab of some kind to me. I don't know what the extra $6,000 is for, but happy to pay the medical bills for the kid, just not that amount. You know, what action should I take?
Okay, David, thank you for your call. Harry, if you want to go ahead and start with that.
I had a lot of dog bite cases, and normally what you find, and in this situation it sounds like a child came up, maybe provoked the dog, and that may be a defense, but going back to something that Rocky said earlier, depending on the age of the child and whether or not this child can be even held, some kind of negligent standard. But normally, and that would be a defense that you would have if the child provoked the dog. The type of dog bite cases I have, though, is usually when a dog gets loose. It's a vicious type of dog. The dog gets out and bites someone. When I came out of law school, it used to be a one-bite rule, where the dog gets one bite, and you'd have to show that the dog had bitten someone else if you want to hold the owner liable. Now it's a dangerous propensity, so you have to show that the dog had a dangerous propensity, and that's an easier standard. It could be any kind of conduct, barking, growling, things like that you can show that the owner was put on notice that their dog is dangerous. But lately I have found that insurance policies now have vicious dog exclusions. So even if the homeowner or the dog owner has homeowner's coverage, there may not be any coverage for the incident because there's an exclusion.
Interesting. Well, and this dog was on a leash.
Right.
David had the dog on the leash, so the child must have gotten close enough to, like you said, provoke the dog possibly. But $6,000, does David need to hire an attorney? Because he's going to have to be out of pocket for this attorney because it's not him who was injured.
Well,
right?
I want to commend David because it sounds like, you're a responsible dog owner and you tried to settle this, by paying the medical bills. And I think a lot of lawsuits would be prevented if people did what you did. And I do want to add, David, that the law protects you in that settlement offers are not admissible later to show that somebody did something wrong. So the fact that you've made that offer is not going to come back and harm you later. Now, I think that when you look at some of these dog bite cases, and Harry has handled a lot of these, if you have scarring, if you have to get a scar revision surgery, then the damages may not be out of line. If it's a permanent scar, I could see that not being a crazy amount. Harry, you tell us a little bit about, you've gone kind of a different route to prove that dogs are dangerous because animal control will sometimes keep records on these vicious animals and they go and bite somebody.
Absolutely. So I had a case somewhat recently where animal control came out, a person had been attacked, and the person, the dog owner who we allege was the owner, disclaimed that he was the actual owner. But we went back, we got with the animal control, we got the incident report, and they actually showed up to a separate court hearing for the actual incident, the dog bite. And I use it in the civil case where I called animal control and the police officer that had arrived to say that the person showed up in court and actually pled guilty. Yeah. So we use that as proof in the civil case that they were in fact the owner.
Yeah, so they're saying Fifi wouldn't bite anybody, and you're like, hey, Fifi already bit somebody and here's the record.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good to know for everybody watching tonight, but let's circle back around to David. What does he need to do? Call an attorney, negotiate
Once
with
he got that
these
notice
people?
letter, he definitely needs to call and see if they'll provide a defense for him, and if they don't, then he may need to hire his own attorney.
Probably the attorney who he hires will cost less than the $6,000 that they're asking for. You would think, right?
If the insurance kicks in, he won't be any more because he's already paid for the insurance, because that's what it does.
They
Two
provide
things:
a lawyer for him.
Lawyer and pay damages you're legally entitled to, and that's really all it is. It's
Okay.
It gets complicated.
Good news for David.
That's
all
right.
right,
He would
great.
only be out if the insurance didn't provide coverage,
Right.
then he would have to hire his own attorney
That's
out
right.
of his own pocket.
Okay, all right, good information. Thanks, guys.